YouTube, what is good? It's your boy NOT. We're here with a video, man. I know I've been gone for what, 2-3 days, man. But yo, I know you guys seen game 3. Nikola Jokic had 30, 20, and 10, like the greatest single final game performance of all time. Like, bro, who have you ever seen drop 30, 20, and 10, or something even remotely similar to that in the finals? Ain't nobody doing it like Nikola Jokic, man. So now, instead of the series being tied 1-1, the Denver Nuggets, they take the 2-1 lead, 30, 20, and 10. Like, but hey, they got one more game in Miami and then it's gonna be back to Denver. But if Denver wins this next game, and I think the game's gonna come on today, I think so, either today or tomorrow. If Denver does win, they'll go up 3-1, and then they'll probably end up closing out in game 5. So that'll be tough. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not gonna guess anything. I'm not gonna assume anything, because it's a proven fact. For if you guys have been watching this throughout the whole entire playoffs, it's a proven fact that every team I predicted, except for 2 series, the Golden State Warriors Kings and the Grizzlies Lakers, those are the only 2 that I predicted. I didn't get the games exactly right. I said Warriors was gonna win in 6 and they ended up winning in 7. I think the Lakers ended up winning in what, 5 or 6, something like that. But yeah, man, haven't been too accurate with them. I'm not gonna jinx it. We're just gonna watch it, non-biased viewers today. But yeah, no, actually today we're not gonna watch the video. We're gonna watch instead another video from JxmyHighroller. He dropped yesterday talking about the NBA is rigged, and the thumbnail showed the NBA finals. So we'll have to see what he's talking about, man. It's an 11-minute video, 10-minute video. Let's go ahead and get into it. It's got 1.2 million views in 1 day, so it's got to be something good. JxmyHighroller is always dropping that heat. And before we get into this video, man, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, turn those post notifications. Once again, we're trying to get to our goal of 1,000 just sometime soon, man. Sometime soon. I'm not gonna hassle you guys or anything like that. If you want to sub. If you don't want to sub, don't sub. I'm not stressing it. But yeah, man, let's go ahead and get into it. Whoa, hold on. Kyle Lowry don't do nothing but have a big booty. Hey, bro, y'all seen that clip with Kai Cenat and your rage, bro? And Kyle Lowry was on the yo, Kyle Lowry, oh my gosh, man. Yo, it's like everything, it's like his whole, like, I'm telling you, his lower exterior is double the size of his upper. Like, it's crazy, bro.
With the NBA Finals upon us, I thought to myself, what better time to take a look at some hot takes? Per usual, I immediately regretted this decision, but it had to be done. So let's jump right in. Now, our first take has been around for decades, and regardless of how insane it is, fans continue to say that the NBA is rigged and scripted. And to that I say, what? First of all, reality is stranger than fiction. The best
okay, now hold on. If we're talking about referee calls, now that's something else. Y'all hear about that whole Eric Lewis, one of the referees, the whole situation? No wonder he didn't call that call like a couple months back with LeBron in the last second and all that, bro. He's a Celtics fan. No wonder.
Incredible, captivating
referees be trying to rig the games.
Would be to not script them. You think some dude rigged Kevin Durant eviscerating his calf in front of tens of millions of people? Or what about the Nuggets just sweeping the Lakers? Wouldn't it make infinitely more sense to allow most series to go into 6 or 7 games for more revenue? We had a very real chance at a Celtics-Lakers finals this season. In what universe do the script writers not choose that outcome? I wonder what Chris Paul thought when he got the script and saw that Luka Doncic was going to walk him like a dog on his way to his 87th second-round exit. If the NBA was truly rigged, why on earth would the most lucrative franchise in the league have virtually no success over the last 20 years? Oh, your team is one of the 29 teams that didn't win a championship this season? It couldn't be that they just weren't good enough. It's because the basketball overlords didn't have it in the script. The biggest suspicion comes from the way refs officiate the games, handing out more fouls to one team than another, making odd calls.
Man, the refs be moving moody, man.
And believe me, brothers, I'm right there with you. If I had $1 for every suspect call I saw in an NBA game, I'd have enough money to start my own franchise to complain about. But that's just the nature of sports. Sometimes things go your way, sometimes they don't. As much as we would like for refs to be mindless robots who get every call correct, they're human, just like us, and they make mistakes. This guy says the NBA is colluding to get the Lakers into the playoffs. Well, then I guess the NBA also colluded to get them swept in the conference finals. I know it's tough to watch your team lose, but of all the excuses we can make as fans, can we please stop resorting to this one? This is a bad take. Now, this next take comes from my man Bill Simmons, who had this to say about this year's Nuggets team.
This Nuggets team is the best team I've seen in person in 5 years, since the 2018 Warriors. Not just better, but really probably beats anybody the last 4 years.
Now, when I first heard this, I thought that can't be true, but it actually might be. Of course, there's no way to know for sure, but going back through the last 8 teams to make the NBA Finals, the 2023 Nuggets do look like possibly the best team. Now, this is all just an opinion, but I think this year...
I mean, he's not wrong, bro. I mean, the only other team that was stacked was the 18-19 Warriors out of all these guys. Not the 19 Raptors, not the 20 Lakers, or not even the 20 Heat, not the Phoenix Suns, not the 2022 Warriors, not the Celtics, not the Bucks. Yeah, I mean he's right. They are stacked. Like, this team is, when I say this team is stacked, they could play 3 totally different lineups and still probably get the dub. Bro, they got Reggie Jackson as a 3rd string player. A guy who last year, or not 2 years ago, helped us get to the conference finals on the Los Angeles Clippers. Man, I wish he was back. But I mean, bro, they are stacked.
This year's Nuggets team would have beaten the 2022 Celtics and Warriors. They would have beaten the 2021 Suns and the 2020 Heat, and they would have probably taken down the 2019 Raptors. The 2 teams that I think are debatable are the 2020 Lakers and the 2021 Bucks. But if we look at some postseason metrics from these teams, the Nuggets are on pace to being the best team since the 2019 Warriors. In the moment, it may not feel like it, but this Nuggets team is incredible. They beat a loaded Suns team that had the most lethal 2-man offensive game in the NBA.
True.
They swept a Lakers team that beat the defending champs.
They almost
and
swept
done
the
it all
Suns
in historic fashion.
when they went in like game 5.
2023 Nuggets may just be the best team since the 2019 Warriors. The eye test backs this up, and the stats do as well. Now, this next take comes from a fan who says that if the Heat become the first team to win a championship as an 8 seed, it automatically becomes the greatest playoff run in NBA history. Well, let's look at some of the greatest, or rather improbable, playoff runs throughout the league's history.
I strongly believe so.
The 2011 Mavericks are considered by many to have the greatest playoff run of any team. As a 3 seed, the Mavs beat a 48-win Blazers team. They beat the reigning champions in the Lakers and Kobe Bryant. They beat a young 55-win Thunder team, but most importantly, they beat the Miami Heat and their Big 3 in 6 games. A series in which
it's not how far you get, it's the journey.
Mother thought Miami was going to win. But one of the most overlooked runs was back in 1995 when the Houston Rockets won an NBA championship as a 6 seed, currently the lowest seed to ever win a title. If some of y'all aren't familiar with this playoff run, it's almost hard to believe what this team pulled off. Because on their way to a championship that postseason, Houston beat a 60-win Jazz team with Malone and Stockton, a 59-win Suns team with 2 All-Stars in Charles Barkley and Dan Marley, a 62-win Spurs team featuring the league MVP and David Robinson, and...
Hey, hold on, I'm gonna move this so y'all can see, man. It's better when it's on the right side because you guys will be able to see more stats, because he likes to bring the stats on the left side. But yeah, man, that's crazy. That's crazy, bro. That's like the Phoenix Suns last year. Man, that's tough.
A 57-win Magic team with Shaq and Penny. A few years ago, I made a video on the most difficult championships ever won, and the Rockets title in 1995 was ranked number 1. In fact, if we add up the total amount of regular season wins from all the teams the Rockets beat that postseason, we get a whopping 238 wins. Compare that with the 2011 Mavericks and this year's Heat, as well as some other metrics, and it's clear that the Rockets had a much more difficult path to a championship. But the 95 Rockets
all Hall of Famers right there.
A solid squad surrounding Hakeem, with players like Clyde Drexler, Vernon Maxwell, Kenny Smith, Sam Cassell. This was a good team. The 2023 Heat, however, have absolutely no business even being in the finals.
True.
It's literally Jimmy, Bam, and the undraftables. Even the Mavericks in 2011 are a criminally underrated team.
And Jimmy was like a second-round pick, right? Or it was the 30th pick of the draft. So
players, and they were easily one of the best teams in the league that season. They just had to make it past the heavy favorite to win it all. This year's Heat team was never favored in the postseason. From the very first series, they were expected to get sent home, and 2 of their core players have virtually sat the entire playoffs.
Exactly.
So between the 1995 Rockets and the 2023 Heat, it's close. The Rockets had a more difficult path, but the Heat were expected to have absolutely no chance at all.
Yes, they were against all odds.
Argument that if the Heat win a championship this year, it would be the greatest playoff run in NBA history. And so this is a good take. And our last take comes from the legend himself, Mike Breen. During Game 1 of the NBA Finals, Breen had a take about Nikola Jokic that some people didn't really appreciate. And one of those people was in the booth with him.
You marvel at his complete game. He passes like magic. He rebounds like Moses. Shoots like Dirk.
Rebounds like Moses? Are you
Moses Malone?
I know. You want to check yourself?
Now, Mike Breen has watched.
Nah, he's not wrong, bro. 20 rebounds.
And as much as this take seems like a reach,
30, 20, 10.
Really? Breen says that Jokic shoots like Dirk, which is about the highest praise a big man can get.
True.
And the numbers support this. Well, kind of. On short jumpers, Jokic is historically efficient. Both Dirk and Jokic are equally as deadly with their long jumpers, and Dirk is a noticeably better three-point shooter. But there's context missing here, because Nikola Jokic only shoots 39% of his shots from outside 10 feet, whereas Dirk shot a whopping 77%
Yeah, Dirk was like a
mid-range from outside 10 feet.
beast.
As efficient as the Joker is, Dirk is the gold standard for a shooting big. Breen also said Jokic passes the ball like magic. And sure, Jokic isn't the engine to the most exciting show in all of basketball, but in terms of moving the rock and getting open looks for his teammates, Jokic does pass like magic.
That's a beautiful pass,
in my
man.
opinion, Magic Johnson is still the greatest passer the game has ever seen. Jokic isn't quite that, but if you were to give your top 5 passers in NBA history, who would be on your list? Magic, Steve Nash, LeBron James, Chris Paul, Jason Kidd. Maybe you got John Stockton, Larry Bird, Isaiah Thomas. But Nikola Jokic is undoubtedly in this discussion. And the last comparison that Breen gave was that Jokic rebounds like Moses Malone. And this is where Mark Jackson really lost it, as if the statement was a massive reach. Because it kind of is. Moses Malone was a 6-time rebounding champion, arguably the greatest rebounder of all time. Moses had an 8-year stretch where he averaged 15 rebounds a game.
Wow.
Jokic can rebound with the best in the league, but he's not quite the board-grabbing machine that Moses was. So, in Breen's defense, Jokic can almost pass like magic, he's nearly the shooter Dirk was, and he's not quite the rebounder Moses Malone was. So, although it's a bit of a stretch, I do like this take. But unfortunately, that's all the racking my brain can handle in one sitting. But y'all know the drill. Leave a comment with your hot take, and as usual, the hotter, the better. Or worse. Hope you all enjoy.
You know what? I think I totally agree with that second to last take, man. If the Miami Heat do win the NBA Finals, and once again, I'm not gonna say they will because I'm not gonna jinx it. Every single time I jinx it, it's like when I say it, the opposite happens. So I'm not gonna jinx it, but if they do, I think yes, this will be the greatest run in modern day history that we'll get to witness for ourselves, man. I'm gonna try to keep up. I know maybe tomorrow, or I think the game is on tonight, man. Hey Siri, NBA games today. Okay, so they play. I don't know if y'all get focus. But anyways, it says that the Heat and the Nuggets, they play tonight, so we'll probably come out with that video tomorrow or maybe Sunday, depending on what I got going on tomorrow. But yeah, man, that's gonna go ahead and conclude today's video, man. Had to drop something, man. I know I've been going for like what 2-3 days. Ain't been as consistent as I usually am, but you know, I'm trying to get at it. I'm still trying to get at it. So that's all that matters. And yeah, once again, this is NOT signing off, man. Love you guys. Peace. Make sure you guys stay healthy. Stay away from people who are sick. And I got the water for y'all, so let me go ahead and do the sip. But yeah, man, these NBA finals I think are unpredictable because none of these teams, well, the Miami Heat have been there, but they're different this year, man. They are different this year, and we've never seen the Nuggets make the finals ever. So we'll just see. We'll just have to see what happens game 4. Maybe the Miami Heat tie it, or maybe Denver goes 3-1 and then closes out in game 5. We'll just have to see. But yeah, man. Once again, this is NOT signing off for the 4th time. Love you guys. Peace. Let me go ahead and get to editing this video. Let me go ahead and get some good breakfast too, man. Peace.